So I just finished watching Solo Leveling, and it was a manhwa that's been constantly recommended to me. I always saw like the monster with the smiling face all over the place, and I finally came. Very interesting manhwa. It's a Korean created manga, which we call manhwa for Koreans, like a comic. Very interesting. I think that with the most recent anime adoption, I just wanted to make sure I can like understand the reading material, the source material before getting into the anime, and it hasn't disappointed. I really like the fact that it's a manhwa, and there are a resurgence now of a lot of Korean comics in this web comics in this version, and it's actually really cool. So the story follows Sung Jin Woo, which is the main protagonist, who starts off as a weak hunter. The whole concept of this manhwa is so interesting to me because not only is he kind of unique as a character because not other people can actually level up like he can, but he kind of chooses the path that he takes. He gamifies the system where he alone has this ability to kind of tackle these like crazy monsters and level up as a user and hunter, and him unlocking the ability to become a player. Now the dungeons are very dangerous places. There's so many monsters of different strengths. There's so many dangerous classes for these dungeons. Now of course there are rankings for the dungeons as well, S being considered one of the most dangerous, and then of course these other dungeon tiers that are like E, D, C, B, A, etc. Now, as we follow the story along, our protagonist faces a lot of dangerous monsters. They are able to face through all of these like challenges, and they kind of find a way to like not only deal with the most scariest of monsters, but also kind of find his own self-confidence. Now, I think this manhwa is really interesting because the way that it's written, it seems very easy to read. It's not one of those stories where you're just like, oh, okay, they're just trying to make us like interested in these characters for no reason. This one actually felt like a very authentic personal relationship between the characters and his decision making. We have to understand like, okay, how does someone improve themselves and how do they take that to the next level? So with that being said, I think this is one of the interesting things about this manhwa. It inspires, and a lot of the people that read this of course love games, but it kind of inspire people to say like, hey, you too can improve, you too can like level up your own system, your strengths, your intelligence, all that. I think this gained a lot of popularity in Korea because of the huge game scene in there. But also I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people started like, oh, okay, I can work on myself, I can get stronger, I can do all that. It's a very interesting manhwa, and I think with Solo Leveling, with the anime coming out, I know that they're changing a little bit more for Japan as it's an anime. But regardless, I'm glad a lot of people get to read this story. I read through the whole thing, and I really enjoyed every time I read it because not only does it have the appeal of like these dungeons and these monsters and with the hero, I really like the flow of the manhwa. It felt really exciting, and they didn't needlessly like put us through a loop of like very, oh, okay, we're back here. Everything felt like the story was driving forward, and that was really great about it. So yeah, I hope when you are able to read this, give it a shot. It's so exciting. It's really fun. And honestly, I'm very excited to see more like Korean stories, like Korean comics kind of making their scene in this space. And hopefully more and more people kind of dive deep and kind of have appreciation for the Korean creatives out there. Now, there's so many good art in this. This is all colorized. This has so many unique fantasy themed characters, and that's what's so appealing about it. And I think anyone who gives it a chance will enjoy it. Now, if I were to rate this, I found myself reading this almost every night, and I didn't stop. I just read one day, read the next, and etc. So I would rate this, wow, the story being 200 chapters and the chapters kind of being pretty long. I would say overall, I would give this like a 9.2, 9.3. It's such a fluid story. It has so much appeal. This is why we're seeing a lot of people kind of approach it and enjoy it. Definitely give it a try if you haven't. I really enjoyed it, and I hope you do too. Now, if you haven't, please like and subscribe to the video. We are putting out more content like this, and we'll just see what people do. I like having the flexibility to post whatever I like, and hopefully you guys like it. So like and subscribe.